let's have a look at this game then. So obviously I haven't seen this game. I have no idea what's going to happen. We did just watch some Korean Challenger, so I am going to be expecting that same level. So again, we got that. We got it down 52. Oh, a little bit early.
Yeah, I must see. I think I've question marked myself
Ah,
because I'm
okay,
like,
fair enough.
man.
Yeah,
I was
50,
like, it's because I
51,
put the
52.
OBS on, and
Oh,
I'm like, I can't wait for Kaibet to see this.
OBS spoiling your plot. Funny enough, I actually once upon a time did a skill cut video on Shaco, and like a load of Shaco players who were like bronze or silver like came to the YouTube video and put so much hate on it, like
Really?
flaming my path. But the thing they didn't realize is the reason I did Shaco Jungle is because nobody else really wanted to do it because the champion is so unbelievably difficult.
Yeah.
So when I did it, I literally went and I copied Chase's path exactly. So I was
And
like,
they were still hating
yeah,
on
yeah, and
it.
they were still flaming me, and I was like, you do realize this is Chase's exact path, right? But I didn't say that. I was like, it's whatever. Yeah, that's the 49.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Unlucky. It's fine.
Those,
It slows your clear down, but I mean, it's not gonna be the end of the world. Thing is, it's a bit hard for you to gank a Renekton anyway, so it's not too bad.
yeah, I learned that the hard way.
Oh, you try and gank him. Oh god. So here, this would be a situation where instead of ganking top, you just look to continue clearing, or mid is an option. Another thing to do though is, where's your pinky finger? Just so I know how your hand sits on your keyboard. Where does your pinky finger sit?
That's just a question. On my shift usually, I
Okay,
think.
that's not too bad then. That's actually okay. So what you want to do is you want to kind of clench your pinky down to control and level like that. And another thing you want to do as well is kind
Yeah, I
of.
do level with control
Oh, okay.
usually.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah.
So another thing you want to do is instead of see here how you just kind of click to have a look what's happening. Also, I would probably recommend trying to wean yourself off this. We'll leave it till gold. But
Okay.
the thing about stuff like this is you become too reliant on it.
Mm.
Because then one of the things with itemization, when you get to a high, like, I mean, maybe diamond one day, I believe. What'll
Hopefully.
happen then is, yeah, for sure. Like, anybody can get diamond if you're actually trying to actively improve. So what ends up happening then is you end up being the complete deep end with itemization, and it becomes a little bit rough. Obviously, that's not
That
something we'll
makes
tackle
sense.
right now, but in the future. Okay, yeah, you're about to die. Like, I can already tell.
I actually survived this one, but
Oh, okay. I mean, you got his flash actually. I mean, it actually turned out quite well.
I didn't even keep that in my mind that he had flashed.
Uh huh.
I didn't like when
Yeah.
I was playing, I mean.
Oh, it's fine. So the thing is here. Oh, and look, and now he dies for it. Would you look at that?
Yeah, I got a nice assist off that. Things are going well.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're going there. KP 100%. Let's keep it like that. Okay, nice little gank. Okay, good stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
I messed up my W there. I put it right on him when I should have put it further
yeah,
away.
a little bit unfortunate. So whenever it comes to skill shots, anything like that, always want to put it where they want to be rather than where they are.
Mm,
Because it's like the
interesting.
box isn't really going to matter too much in terms of damage, not at this stage of the game. So instead of putting it here, you want to go, okay, well, where's he going to go? Now, obviously, he wants to go to the tower, so what we do is we just box here, and then what'll
Mm-hmm.
happen is he flash into box, and then he dies here.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah, I know I messed up on that when even when I was playing, I was like, ah, why did I put the
That's okay.
box there?
That's okay. It's just handy things to know, really. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know why I went back in here. I just couldn't even get the
oh,
kill on it. It's
yeah, we
so
didn't drop the
sad.
W at all there, see?
Yeah, I don't think I had it up yet. Oh, I just got it. I just got it. I should have placed it. I placed it there, but it's too late.
I mean, he got a
Yeah.
kill. He got a kill. It's something. But see, now the
Yeah.
awkward thing is because we've invested so much time, we are delaying on our straight dirk.
Level 6.
Well, straight dirk
Oh.
as well. So you always really want to get that straight dirk before you leave base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I know that's like the big first back,
Yeah, it's really
basically.
big. It's really big. Okay, so I mean we're looking okay. We're getting there. We're doing it. So it's okay to clear a bit. So don't worry about. So one of the biggest things I will highly recommend when you're playing in these low elos is
Mm-hmm.
focus more on farming than you do ganking. Just look
Okay.
for the really really free ganks.
Okay.
Because so the way you need to see a gank is you're kind of investing into a lane, right? So if you
Mm-hmm.
decide I am going to go and gank mid lane, what you're basically saying is I am going to. So do you know what tempo is? Do you know the concept of jungle tempo?
Like kind of, but
So tempo is kind
like
of the way you used to
yeah.
have to see jungle is you're kind of having a game of chess against the other jungler. Like each role
Mm-hmm.
has their kind of niches. Top lane is like we're gonna fight it out, like we're gonna beat each other up and see what happens. Mid
Yeah,
lane, it's like we're
basically.
gonna try and be as precise as possible with our spells, and if we miss them, we're just dead. And then bot lane is more of this. I have somebody else, and we're gonna play this coordinated game. Whereas jungle is like I'm gonna play chess against this other jungler, and I'm gonna try and outsmart them throughout to see what I
Mm-hmm.
can do. Now, what tempo refers to, like the basics. I mean, there's a lot of explanations about what it is. But in theory, all it really is how much of an advantage do you have over the other jungler? So you just kind of see it as like a bank, right? So say for example you farm. So say you're both here, you farm one extra camp, you're here now and they're still there. You farm another camp, you're there, they're still there. They then go for a dragon, they lose tempo, so they're down here, you're up here. So now, even though they've got a dragon here, you're all the way up here. So if you now fight them, you win. If that makes sense. So
Okay.
it's kind of like you're constantly gaining like points or favor against the other jungler that then you can spend on whatever you want. Now maybe you would get say you're both here, you would then get up here and then you decide I'm gonna do dragon and you're gonna go there. Well they've just been farming and they're like here, so you've got like barely any difference, right? So
Yeah.
what that then means is when you're ganking a lane, you're basically saying, I'm going to use my tempo to gain an advantage in a lane. Now, if you're not really farming and you're not really gaining any tempo, then what's going to happen is you're going to gank a lane. You might not get anything out of it, but if you don't get anything out of it, and the enemy jungler either does a cross map, which is basically like, say, if you gank here, he ganks there on the opposite side of the map. What this then
Mm-hmm.
means is if he gets something and you don't, he's in advantage. He's basically just taken one of your pieces on the chessboard. And you
Mm-hmm.
keep going like that, you keep snowballing, and just like chess, it gets to a point where you've ended up taking so many pieces from them that unless you make a mistake, there's no way that they can win anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to junglers, especially things like Shaco, where I mean, you are somewhat reliant on getting, say, that mythic. Your second item's quite strong too. You end up in this position where you're trying to look for that kind of tempo wherever you can. So you don't want to over gank lanes. So you do want to
That
focus
makes
on
sense.
getting as many camps as you can, getting that gold, more importantly, XP. Now, one of the caveats as well to this is do you actually know how you get punished by jungle camp XP? So, do you know when the XP refreshes? Do you know when it changes?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Like basically when you kill a camp, it levels up, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you
so
mean?
it's pretty much, yeah. I mean, so and so. So it's when it respawns, it comes in at a new level. So the level is based on the average level of the game. So
Okay.
what ends up happening is, let's say for example, we gank like crazy, gank. We don't farm whatsoever. Let's say for example these Krugs are still level 1, and we are level 2. Then we're gonna lose 10% XP because that we're one level above the camp. So for every one level, you're gonna lose 10% XP. So this caps out of 5 levels where you're gonna lose 50% of the XP from the camp. So it means, let's say if we're just farming, we're just ganking, and we don't farm, we're basically going to lose half of the XP from that camp when we do take it, because it's going to be 5 levels below us, if that makes sense. So it's important that we do gank, but we don't end up in this situation where we're losing 20, 30, 40, God forbid 50% XP from the camp, right? Because then we're just going to fall behind massively and it's going to be really, really rough, right? So,
Sorry, can you repeat that
okay,
concept of
yeah,
the...
yeah, of course. So, say for example, if the camp is level 1
Okay.
and we are level 2, then we
Mm-hmm.
are 1 level above the camp. So
Yes.
because we are +1 level, we're going to lose 10% experience when we take it.
Okay.
So if
Okay, I
we
didn't know that.
are, yeah. So I mean, don't get me wrong. These are kind of like, you probably don't need to know these at this point, but it's helpful to know, because then you know, okay, well, why am I super behind this enemy jungler when I've been ganking like crazy and all they've been doing is farming? So that's kind of the concept of why
Mm-hmm.
farming junglers work. So let's say we're level 3 to their level 1 still, we're going to lose 20%. Level 4, we're going to lose 30. Level 5, we're going to lose 40. Level 6, we're going to lose 50% of the experience when we take that camp. So if we're
Okay.
6 levels above, then we're going to lose... 5 levels above, then we're going to lose 50%. So this is like, you never, ever, ever want to get to this. So one way you can
Okay.
actually tell what level a camp is, if you just left click it, it'll come up. If you do it at this game, it'll come up here. It'll have the portrait and it'll have like a little number by here. Level 1, level 2, level 3, etc.
Okay. Okay.
So that's how you
Interesting.
kind of know. So you do want to avoid just kind of spam ganking, because again, you're going to lose that. And you're even more punished in this season because of Smite. Obviously, you're incentivized to get to that 20 treats, and then you're incentivized to get to that 0 treats,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So, again, here it's like, okay, good stuff. This is a bit of a risky dragon. So, this is basically you're saying that you want to invest your tempo into taking this dragon, but the issue
Mm-hmm.
is it's a 50-50. So you always kind of
Yeah.
want to avoid 50-50s, because it's just kind of a bit of a risk for no real reason, no good reason, especially when right now you've got so many camps up, right? So
Yeah.
another kind of basic concept to always go by is, when you're playing a champion like Shaco, the amount of early gold that you get is incredibly important. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably one of the most important things, because the more early gold, the more you can one shot people, the more levels you get, the easier you clear
Yeah.
camps, etc., etc. So, what you kind of want to do is, dragon spawns at 5 minutes. If, say, for example, this is why I personally think Shaco is better on blue side, because you can influence bot early. So what you want to do
Mm-hmm.
is you want to aim for dragon at 5 to 6 minutes, because on
Okay.
Shaco, your primary objective is always going to be the first herald. So first herald
Okay.
spawns at 8 minutes. So if it's getting to say 7:30, you just want to give the dragon. You just want to say
Okay.
whatever. Like if Kane is here, fine, doesn't matter. So in this situation, what you should have done instead is, instead of going for this dragon, you should have gone up and cleared both of these camps. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
mean this Gromp first into both of those camps, and then just gone for the dragon, the herald. Because then what happens is, what your path should look like. Let me just get a visual representation. So, when my PC wants to... Oh, okay. Okay. We got there eventually. So, what we should have looked to do instead is, we should have cleared this Gromp, and then we should have
Mm-hmm.
moved all the way up here, cleared this away, cleared this, and then what we
Mm-hmm.
can actually see from your game is, this has got a great timer, right? So what we can then do is, we can take this, and then we can walk all the way. So actually, just to be max efficiency, you should go this first, and then this, because then this is going to spawn at half the time, whereas this
Mm-hmm.
won't. So then what you do is, you come around and you get the Herald, which you can do easily. Remember the Korean that we were reviewing? He
Yeah,
instantly just
yeah.
popped his ult, just started taking it, very, very good. Because then what we can
Mm-hmm.
do is, while Kane is down here taking this dragon, we can then go and take his blue buff away, take his Gromp, potentially his Raptors, and then we've not only cleared all of our jungle and got the Herald. We've taken his camps, and then we can take Herald into a Shaco. I'd probably say the mid or top, so that we can
Mm-hmm.
get those plates with as little people as possible and go from there. So
Okay.
that's kind of how I would have played this sequence in
Yeah, I
respect
didn't
to.
play that too well
It's okay. I
here
mean,
because I just I like waffled around for too long and then they
yeah, a
just
little
took
bit.
the dragon and then I didn't even
Yeah,
yes, he was just dancing. I didn't really do anything. I thought I could maybe try to steal, but
yeah. No, it's not worth it. So it's like, yeah. Now you're going on the same route again, right? You're doing the exact thing that we just said anyway. So it's kind of like you invested time in something you couldn't get, and now what's going to happen is you're contested for the Herald now.
yeah.
So, oh, okay. Oh,
I stole it, but I died.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad fight from the team as well. Like we ended up losing three. Uh
Yeah, just a tad. It was a little bit rough. So what could we have done different? So
Probably saved my Q for later.
yeah, or altered a little bit sooner to
Yeah.
dodge the rise damage. So so yeah, this is the thing, right? Like, so this is kind of a concept. So this is usually why Shaco isn't recommended, purely because say you're playing Diana or something, you're gonna learn how to play this kind of farming style, and then you can apply it to Shaco. But like I said, I couldn't care less what you play. Like it doesn't matter really. It's just unfortunate because he had phase rush already.
Yeah, I didn't know about the phase rush there. I
Yeah, so the thing
was
with
like, damn,
Rise
why is
is
he
he
so
basically
fast?
has like a he has a mini phase rush in his passive, and then he has actual phase rush.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why he's very very fast. He's zooming boy. That's why
Yeah, he is.
you can blind him in a lot of spots in competitive because as long as you ban Cassiopeia, even if he gets ganked, he gets so much movement speed that he can just run away.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah, I was thinking about it, but then I was
Yeah.
like,
So
I
he
don't know.
is.
He had a big minion wave too, so I was
Not
like,
just that.
uh,
What else do you notice about him? Obviously, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. I just want to see if you know.
he's 2 levels up.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know how much XP it is for? Sorry, the base stats that you get. The majority defensive stats, but do you know roughly how much gold a level is worth?
150?
Okay, okay. So it's actually between about 500 to I think the highest is 652.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So
did not
this,
know that.
I think this is, if I remember correctly, it's a Lowy. But then I think Darius follows her at like 650 as well. So it's usually the
Hmm.
bruisers. So the more of a bruiser a champion is, the more they're going to get in base stats.
Okay, so he's like 1200 over
Yeah.
me right
He's
now.
he's about 30, yeah, maybe about 1200, 11, 1200 gold up on you purely through his levels alone. So right now this guy is off limits until we've got more gold. Like we need gold.
Hmm.
And this also plays to the concept I was saying earlier, right, where you get that bonus XP from them being a higher level. So if you had the gold for it, then you could potentially. This Kane is having a bit of a field day, but do you remember we spoke about cross mapping?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what
I
he just did, you know?
yeah, because he saw me top and then
Yeah. So this is something that you want to do a lot as well. You want to go, okay, well, I see them top. I'm going to try and force spot if it's okay for it.
hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
don't know
warded.
how they saw me.
That must be warded.
I think it was, yeah. Yeah, I knew that it was worded after that grab as well.
Yeah.
Makes sense why they were pushed up so hard.
Okay, so did you see here? I think she just warded it then. But yeah, as soon as that grab comes out, you know that they've got you.
Hmm.
Okay.
No.
Oh. My
Yeah,
heart.
unfortunate there.
It's very sad. The Renata auto. Of all things that could kill you, a Renata ult.
I
But
know, right? But
but
she does do
just
extra damage with her auto, so.
yeah. But do you see what's happening here as well? So we're so close to mythic, but because we've been a bit too aggressive and we haven't focused on ourselves, we're in a
Hmm.
position now where it's like, oh, okay, well we can't actually get our mythic, and now we bought a dagger, so we're even further behind. Another thing on Shaco as well is rush
Should
boots
I have
first.
bought that dagger or should
Yeah,
I have
so
just
I
waited?
I actually prefer boots rush.
Okay,
I actually
interesting.
prefer going boots first because obviously you, not only you benefit from it, but your clone benefits from it as well. So when you're coming for those
Okay.
objectives, that dragon, that herald, that you're going to use your ult and try and get as quick as possible, having those berserker greaves is super important. There's games that I've had previously where I've managed to be level 6 with berserker greaves at like 5 minutes 30, and that's allowed me to just run straight to the dragon and just instantly take it on my own.
Nice.
So that's
So
kind of
you
like
would go
ideal.
boots first instead of Dirk?
Yes, I usually would. Yeah, to be honest. I mean, Dirk is very good, but if you can get boots really early, they can be really good, too.
Yeah, I misplayed this fight. I thought my team was behind me, but they were getting engaged on by the Kane.
Yeah, a little bit. But there we go. Dead. I don't know why she's still hitting her, but fine, I guess. You do you, MF. Okay. So see how it feels like we're just playing from behind this entire game.
Yeah,
This is because of those early ganks where we just kind of went, whoa, well let's just gank like crazy and hope for the best.
okay. That makes sense. How did she see me
Yeah.
again? Oh. Yeah, this game was kind of a rough one. Like I did get pretty tilted, I won't lie, in this game.
Yeah.
Just because everything I tried, nothing was working,
Yeah. So
and
this
I
is
was
this is the thing, right? So this is one of the biggest reasons why I often tell people that tilt is usually a sign that you just need to focus on your game knowledge. Because what happens with the majority, if not all, no, I wouldn't say all, I don't think you can say all much. So what ends up happening is you play something out, you try and get it to work, it doesn't work, you don't know why it didn't work, so then you start getting tilted. And then you start getting
hmm
tilted, and you're like, well, it didn't work, didn't work, didn't work. And when you're already tilted, you see somebody do something that you don't think is right, and then you go, oh, yeah, yeah, it's my team's fault. Like, somebody inted, that's what it was. Like, this vain griefer. So, sorry, I mean, MF. So what you need to do is if you start feeling yourself getting tilted, obviously don't ignore that emotion because there's no need. But ask yourself why are you feeling that. Like, and then it's like, okay, I'm feeling tilted because I don't know how to win the game. So what you then do is you improve your game knowledge, and then you go, okay, well, this is how I win more. You start winning more, and then you stop getting tilted as much. And then when you do
yeah,
start getting tilted again, it's like, okay, well, why am I getting tilted? Okay, and then you know why.
that makes sense.
So that's the thing. Like League is a little bit. It doesn't. So this is the thing that people don't realize. League doesn't create these emotions. Like League is not just gonna turn like some like monk that's like living in the hills, like meditating for like 18
Yeah.
hours a day. Like it's not just gonna make them instantly start screaming and going mad. But if you even have a little seed of frustration or a tiny bit of a short fuse, it's going to exasperate. It's going to make it massive to the point then
hmm
you're like, oh god, like. So it doesn't. It's not going to make you angry, but I mean, I
Like
don't.
I'm usually the type of I'm not a rager or a flamer or anything like that. Like
Yeah,
I don't I don't flame my team or anything unless they flame me maybe, but
Yeah,
other than that, I'm usually like a very quiet, put my head down, just try to focus
yeah.
on what I'm doing.
So this
But
thing,
with this,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Go on, go on, go on.
I was saying just like with this game, I could tell that it was running away from me and I
Yeah.
didn't know how to bring it back, basically.
Okay.
Like I was farming, I'm trying to catch up. Kane, I think, is like 2 levels ahead of me now.
Okay. So,
And
uh,
yeah.
and the whole reason I know so much about tilting is I used to be a flamer. I used to get very very tilted very very easy. Like many years ago. This like 7 or 8 years ago. Like and I ended up helping my own short fuse by realizing, hey, why am I getting so tilted at a video game? Oh, it's because I get a bit too tilted in general. Okay, and then I
Mm,
fixed that through the game, funny enough, and I'd never get angry at anything anymore. Like I haven't for years.
nice.
So it's League will basically show you things about yourself that you didn't really realize, so that you can fix them. So it can be really good. Now, one of the big things here, one of the struggles that you're having is we're not backing properly. So, for example,
Okay.
here, as soon as we take this red, we should be instantly looking to reset because we've got our Dirk and our boots. So we're on a massive
Okay.
power spike right now, but because we're not recalling, we're not actually buying it. So remember, this
Okay.
gold
Yeah,
in
that
your
makes
pocket,
sense.
this doesn't do a single thing, nothing at all. So let's say right
Mm-hmm.
now you're worth 5,000 gold, just for theory's sake. You got
Mm-hmm.
1,500 here, so in theory you're worth 3,500 in total. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So Kane, who is worth 7,000 gold, who is already plus 2k, now is actually plus 3.5k purely because we haven't recalled.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the
Okay.
biggest reasons why you are struggling to come back into games because your power spikes are always important. Now boots
Mm-hmm.
and mythic on Shaco is incredibly important,
Yeah.
but then because we come down to farm this, okay, whatever, and now we're just floating around again. We're not really doing anything. We farm this, okay. Now we still haven't backed.
Okay,
We're
yeah,
still
I have
floating
2K
around. Yeah,
almost. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here.
and now we run down and we go for a fight, I presume, with 2k gold. Like I will tell you right now, there's no way you ever survive this at all.
Yeah.
If you even get a lick of damage on them, then I'm gonna be extremely impressed.
No, I just tried to run. Actually, no, I'm even stupider than that.
We're gonna go for it, aren't we? Oh, we're gonna go for it. Oh, so see right now he's 11 to our 10,
Yeah, yeah, I
and
know
we haven't
that
spent our
was
gold.
just that was a bad fight from me. I should have just backed, and I knew I should have backed there.
Because we quite literally healed him. Like
Yeah,
unironically, we healed this him here.
yeah, yeah. How does his heal work?
So he heals off basically all of his abilities.
Okay, interesting.
So it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I know. And then after that, I'm like, bro, he's full health, and I'm dead.
yeah,
What the
yeah.
fuck?
So I mean, if you'd have spent, then you might have actually been able to kill her. To be fair.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
And now we've
I shouldn't
spent,
stay with
we've
that much.
given more gold. So now we've given
Yeah.
more gold, even though we spent now and we've got a big power spike. We're just gonna die again. Okay, reconnecting with Prowlers. I actually saw a little teaser that they might be removing Prowler's Claw.
What?
Yeah,
No way.
it makes the game too
I
hard to balance. I don't know if it's confirmed
really
or not yet. I heard of a
because the
source, but it's very reliable. So yeah,
because there was basically there's a Predator's Claw
who did?
Shaco build
Oh,
that I
Shaco.
saw,
Yeah.
and it seems pretty strong actually, considering like people whenever you pop out of your queue, they always run away, or sometimes they're faster, and you just need that little bit of extra like gap close to get them after your
So
queue.
Prowler's Claw also always puts you behind them.
Yeah.
I let me just confirm. I'm like 99% sure, but it is 10 p.m. at night and
I mean, I don't really use Prowler's Claw anyway.
dashing
It's just
alone through the target. Yeah, through the target. Yeah. So you end up behind them. So basically,
hmm
your Q basically guarantees to get the bonus damage. That's why it's good. But Duskblade is really
Interesting.
good because it allows you to choose when you use your Q. You don't have to feel forced to use it as much. You use your Q to get in range,
Yeah.
get it off. You then get some invisibility to reposition. Then you can, use a Q again, etc., etc.
Yeah, at this point it's like pretty tough for me because I
Yeah,
can't farm my jungle freely and they're just like
yeah,
living in there now.
yeah. That's rent free for them now, unfortunately.
Yeah, basically. And I'm standing on the side here trying to look for like a flank angle. Just see if I can get a hit off or something. I think I did. Yeah, I tried, but not enough. If I had the Essence Reaver, I think that would have been an easy kill.
Yeah. So I mean, now it's kind of a case of the way we win this is to get picks
Hmm.
wherever we can. But it's kind of difficult to get picks because we've fallen behind so hard.
Yeah, I think at this point I'm like the lowest level in the game.
Yeah. So that's the thing. But I mean, don't get me wrong. There is, I mean, it's definitely not perfect gameplay, but it's perfect to learn. So we're
Hmm.
completely fine. That's why I told you, I was like, don't worry about games that you've inted because usually you actually get more out of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like if I played Amumu at this point, I probably would have been more useful than Shaco.
Yeah,
If
yeah. I mean, Amumu's good. Amumu has an ult that can always turn a game. But if you are miserable playing Amumu, then there's no point. So also, one of the things that I'm noticing as well about your mechanical play is we're not really ulting effectively. So like for example there, as soon as we see the Kane W come out, just instantly R.
okay,
Because a lot of your damage when you're playing AD Shaco comes from your clone.
the clone,
Yeah.
interesting.
So like right here, see, we're just not really
Yeah,
using
I
it.
don't know why I saved that.
And now it's like even if we do use clone, it's not really going to do that much and we're probably just dead here. Oh,
I thought he was gonna come out from that
he
side.
juked you.
Yeah, he juked my juke.
Yeah.
Playing 3D chess.
Maybe 2 minions at most.
They're like, he should just go tank. I'm like, yeah, I'll go tank after I optimize to go assassin.
Uh-huh, yeah. Just build wall mugs. Why not? More HP the better. Because see how much damage you actually kind of do? So you could have been doing this damage way before. So this is the thing, your goal as Shaco is always to get to that first item.
Hmm.
Like, if during your clear there is angles for you to get free kills or a little bit of pressure, great. But you remember with the Korean guy, he cleared his 3 camps, he got a gank on bot, he then went up mid, got a gank on mid while he was on his way to top, and then he went and farmed
Hmm.
his camps. And then
Yeah,
after he
yeah,
farmed his camps, then he reset, spent his gold, bum bum bum.
makes sense. I thought we were coming back here, but no.
It's fine, it's fine. So just as a note to what I said earlier, you only rush the boots if you can get dragon at like really, really early.
Okay, so like if my bot lane has prio all game
Yeah,
type
or
of
if you're just really
situation.
strong. So if you can get on dragon with level 6 at like 6 minutes, then it's good. But you'll usually know what you can go off your first clear alone.
Okay.
Because your first clear, you should be backing with like 1100 either way.
And that's like a full clear with Scuttle?
So that's like a full clear plus scuttle plus maybe like one killer assist.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But
Because I was gonna
obviously,
say when I
oh
come back, it doesn't always
yeah. So you get
like I
about
don't always have 1100.
yeah you get about 900 from the jungle. But did you remember how the shaker the Korean shaker was taking enemy raptors as well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's something else you can look for too if you need that extra bit of gold.
I think this was their soul. That's why we're forcing it so hard.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's fine. You got it. Nice big MF ult. Okay, very nice. Okay. Oh, unlucky.
Rise got me there, yeah.
Yeah, just random Q when you're invisible. Oh no. Oh yeah, it was actually the Q. But you would have died anyway because he'd eat somebody near
Mm-hmm.
you and you had a mark on you. So yeah, now obviously they have a Baron buff. And see, now you have two items, you're actually doing a lot more damage.
Yeah, but at 30 minutes into the
Yeah,
game,
exactly right. So this is the thing. We need to pull in more gold.
hmm
We need to focus getting that gold earlier and more reliably
hmm
instead of just kind of throwing ourselves at lanes and hoping for the best. Remember, lanes are an investment for you. They're not a. So this is what you'll actually find as well is what was your skill? Well, we'll have a look in a second. So I think this is pretty much the game done, right? Like this point doesn't really matter. So what was your? Okay, so this is another thing as well. Your skill order, what you can look to do too is because, like I said, your main goal, the main goal that you always want to go for is 2 full clears of your camps. Because after 2 full clears, then your red will respawn. You can get your red, and you can look to go nuts. So when it comes to level 6, for level 6, there's a few ways you can get it. So the first way to get level 6 is to isolate what lane you want to gank. So let's say, for example, you're playing, you have a Jinx Lulu into a Draven Nautilus, right?
hmm
They're always going to lose that lane. You're probably not really going to be able to get too much. But what you can do is you can go, okay, this. Look for maybe like a flash or something here. And then come up, get this. Then, like, you're just on your way. Get the skull, and then go clear this, and then reset. Or what you can do as well is you can go this and this. You do it at the same time. Then this here, up here, potentially around here, depending on what champion. Because let's say, for example, they're playing Silas. Silas is not going to take this camp because it's going to take too much damage. It's going to give too much
hmm
damage. So you could steal this, then you go steal this, and then boom, boom, boom. And then what you'll find is, depending on the time you've done it, then you'll potentially get this spawned and this spawned. And then what you can do is you can spend all your gold, and then you can come back on the map. You can say, go mid, you can go top, whatever you want. You can go jungle if you've had success. You can go dragon if you've had success and get that. So that second kind of time you come out of base is then going to be the most important, because then what's going to happen is you're then going to get this spawn, this. So then you'd go a full like this again, and then you'd
Okay.
recall. Then what happens is, because we've started this red, this is then going to respawn. So what we then do is we come out, we get this, and if you've got a kill or an assist at any point during this time, once you get, well, I mean, 2 assists or a kill, what then happens is when you take this red buff, you will actually, depending on how many minions you've taken, but as a rule of thumb, you'll actually get level 6 off this, and then you can
Okay.
then go into, say, bot level 6, and then once you've got 6, you're free to do whatever you want.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
So
So you were
you're
saying push for the put like farm until level 6 and don't be ganking as much pre-6.
Yeah, like go for the like the free gangs, the this here. It's free, it's fine.
hmm
But you don't just want to sit around here doing nothing. You either want to straight
Okay.
go in because they're going to be level 1 when you're level 3,
Yeah.
or you just back away if you can't get anything. But I mean, you can usually get something here, especially in your
hmm
elo. I'd say you'll get things 9 out of 10 times. But then
Okay.
you get some pressure mid, but you're ganking, but you're still prioritizing yourself throughout these ganks. And then because you're
hmm
prioritizing yourself, you're not falling behind. So you
Okay.
you never really want to do anything that's going to put you behind unless you get a big lead. Let's say, for example, you're doing this camp, and then all of a sudden, your mid is here. So let's say you're here. No, you're here. So let's say you're here right now, and your mid is there. All of a sudden, jungle comes, tries to gank, tries to dive. Obviously, like the Korean player did, when he was on the grump here, and he saw him over here, you instantly move, and then you can get it for free. But then you go back to farming.
Okay. Okay.
So you don't want to completely ignore where you are, but you want to make sure that you're constantly looking. So say, for example, you're on this camp, your camera should be looking like this. You should be seeing mid lane, because then if they do anything silly or they walk up, stuff like that, you can instantly just hop over, get something.
That
So
makes sense.
yeah, that's kind of the thing you're looking for. So I think for you, the main thing, so don't worry, I'm recording this, I'll upload it as well in a moment.
Okay, thank you.
So the main thing you're looking for is to prioritize yourself, get more gold into you, and then play to snowball after that. Again, your
Okay.
Dirk, your Boots, and your Mythic are all super big spikes on Shaco. Coldfield's Hammer is also very nice because of the cooldown, especially with your Q, but it's
Yeah.
not going to give you as much an oomph as Dirk is. So, for context, Dirk is each one lethality is actually, in theory, so in quotations, worth 5 gold. But
Okay.
for like basically years and years ago, Riot stated that. So to explain gold efficiency a bit more, so the way people work out gold efficiency is, let's say for example you have 10 AD in a longsword, which is worth 350 gold. Then what you do is you go, okay, well, how much is 1 AD? So you go 1 AD divided by 10, 35. So what that means then is AD is worth, so for 1 AD it's worth 35 gold. So it also applies to lethality as well, where 1 lethality is in theory 5 gold. In theory, like I said, in quotations. So what ends up happening is when Riot released Ornn, they basically reworked his passive. Do you know how Ornn works?
He builds items in
Yeah.
lane.
So these items used to give ridiculous amounts of gold. So when mythics came in, Riot said, okay, we are going to make sure that each mythic gets plus 1k gold from ornaments. So when
Okay.
is there. So what then happened is people then looked into it and they went, oh, okay, well, how come the ornament for Dustblade is like 730 gold? And basically what this means is Riot confirmed the true value of lethality. So lethality, instead of being worth so instead of lethality being worth 5 gold, it actually turned out that 1 lethality is worth 43 gold.
Okay.
So if you're getting 10 lethality from it, then you're actually getting 430 gold for the price of 50.
Interesting.
So this is why lethality is so good early, and this is why when you're playing things like Shaco where you want to go lethality, you really want to make sure that you're getting it as much as possible.
Okay.
So yeah, either way, so we'll leave it there. Obviously, I know we've covered a lot of concepts. I think the main things for you to focus on: one, farm. So
Okay.
actually farm your camps instead of kind
Yeah,
of
I
just
think
running them out.
that's. Yeah, I think.
I think the second main thing is your recalls. So I know these things seem like quite simple concepts, but they are in a way not a bad thing. It means that once you fix these somewhat simple concepts, which I mean even pro players get these wrong sometimes, so it's like whatever. So once you've fixed, I'd say even just these big two, you will instantly start seeing that you do way more damage, like way more.
Okay.
And then you can do a massive amount more. So we are just going to set you those two things to focus on because I think they're the most important things. I mean, as a like little tip, we can maybe F keys as the third thing, just because it will help you. But yeah, I think just focus on them for now, and I promise you that if you even nail these at like 50%, you're going to get gold. Like, I guarantee it right now. So the other thing is obviously you just need games. So you just need to play as many games on Shaco as possible because then your mechanical skill is going to improve as well. And from your mechanical skill improving, then things are going to be way easier as well, right? So, yeah, so I'll end the recording there. Like I said,